we once again come back to what William Douglas learned because of this, as of this misadventure. First thing that he learned was all we have to fear is fear itself. This is what we have to understand. Second thing, how is it that he experienced there is peace in death and there is terror only in the fear of death? First, we'll try to understand the first saying, all we have to fear is fear itself, as to how this misadventure made William Douglas understand the true meaning of all we have to fear is fear itself. These are the words of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the American president, whom William Douglas served. Now, at the time of economic hardships and social unrest, it is in the American history, William Douglas had said these words, all we have to fear is fear itself, and rest, everything falls in place. Now the reason all we have to fear is fear itself is this. It can be understood in a manner which is very, very logical. The reason we have to fear only fear is this, because fear generates panic, and panic prevents one from, fear generates panic, and panic prevents one from changing retreat into advance. Fear generates panic, and panic prevents one from changing retreat into advance. That is the reason we have to fear fear itself. Now, panic has been described using three words. One, it is nameless. It is unreasoning. And it is unjustified. So fear, all we have to fear is fear itself, because fear generates nameless, unreasoning and unjustified panic, which prevents one from changing retreat into advance. This is what William Douglas understood as of this misadventure. The misadventure in the pool, in the swimming pool. This next two things that William Douglas understood are these: that there is terror in the fear of death, and that there is peace in death. You can write the adverb only here. There is terror only in the fear of death. Now these are two things that he understood that he experienced rather when he was inside the pool. Let's take the first one. There is terror only in the fear of death. When he was trying to save himself, he was terrified. He was terrified because he was running away from death, because he did not want to die. Because he did not want to die, he wanted to save himself, and because he was running away from death, he was terrified. And when his physical and mental strength gave way, he crossed oblivion, he became unconscious, and he experienced ultimate peace as one experiences in death. So these are two things that two very important things that he learned from this misadventure. And this is the reason why he recounts his childhood experience in the swimming pool. You already know that this is a psychological analysis. This particular chapter is a psychological analysis of fear. This is how you can summarize the entire lesson. The value points, the value point that will go into the answer, and when you sit down to expand this particular phrase, a psychological analysis of fear, are these. One, this particular lesson teaches us the different stages of fear and their corresponding effects on mind and body. How? When William Douglas is ducked into the deeper end of the pool, he is scared, but is not scared out of his wits. Therefore, he devises a plan. So, in the initial stage of the fear, a person retains his ability to think. Thereafter, as fear progresses, and one is in possession of stark terror. You can say fear and terror are two extremes. One loses one's ability to think, and owing to extreme physical and mental exhaustion, one becomes unconscious. Second important point, the piece-by-piece approach of the swimming instructor. Here, each piece refers to each stroke. Only when, and there is psychology that goes into learning. The swimming instructor makes use of psychological approach in order to teach William Douglas learning, in order to teach William Douglas swimming. Only when William Douglas had mastered all these strokes does the swimming instructor ask William Douglas to swim. That is, only then does the swimming instructor put the whole pieces, or all the entire pieces, into one integrated whole. That means asks William Douglas to swim. But at that particular juncture, when swimming instructor had done his job, William Douglas still had certain remains of fear deep-rooted inside his consciousness, and he overcame them using his strong determination. He swam the entire length of a water body, but at one point in time, while he was swimming the length of the water body, that same panic seized him, but he dissuaded that particular fear and continued swimming, and eventually overcame his fear of water.